It was really nice to be able to put away like any academic inhibitions that I had and just go with my creative side and just let that influence the work that I was doing. My name is Natalie Merrithew. I'm an English major with a writing and publication studies concentration, and I'm a senior. I think the main thing that drew me to Creative Jam was the fact that it was just a creative setting. Like I was really interested in the idea of designing with Adobe and working with a team completely outside of an academic setting. So being able to go in there and just base what we were doing on my creativity and my team members' creativity, it was like a completely different experience, and I was really looking forward to it, and I thought it would be a really unique experience, unlike anything that I had done in academics. We decided that we were going to do a Clemson paw, so each toe of the paw would be an individual team member, because there were 4 of us, and our affinity spaces personally, and then the actual base of the paw would be the affinity spaces that sort of everyone is related to at Clemson. And so that took a lot of thought as far as like considering what our personal affinity spaces were and what we considered the affinity spaces for Clemson students as a whole. So it was a lot of going in and finding pictures of certain things and getting them together, and then lots of line drawings and tracings and collaging and trying to overlay everything together, and it was difficult. I was really interested in that category because I had done a couple classes like visual communications and digital literacy where I got to work with Adobe programs, but it was more on like the rhetoric side of things, which I guess still applied to the Creative Jam, but I was really interested in working as a team with Adobe software, and I had never done that before. I had just done individual projects, so I wanted to see how I would work in a team setting with Adobe. I'm more interested in publishing, so I thought that getting more experience with Adobe, like hands-on and like being put on a deadline, would be really helpful, and also learning how to work with a team in that situation, because I had done a lot of work by myself with those softwares and sort of like being on deadlines, but having to work with a group and being in a collaborative setting and having to combine ideas. I think that creativity is a very individualized process for everyone, and it's very unique, and I think that creativity stems from passion, so whatever you're passionate about, your creativity shows through that. And I definitely think that is reflected at Clemson. I know that like within the humanities department, there's a lot of opportunities for creativity and showing your passion and creating things that you enjoy, and I think that's really important, and I think that's something that Clemson genuinely does very well. I don't think that I've ever had like a project or a paper or a design assignment or anything like that where I felt like I couldn't just like take a creative leap and do something that maybe I wouldn't have done in high school, you know, like something that I would worry would affect my grade or something like that. I've always considered Clemson a good place to take risks with creativity, and I really enjoy that about the campus and about the academics and everything. I really enjoyed Creative Jam. I think it was really fun, and it was really different to work in a team setting, and I think that being put on a deadline with like only my creative mind in the process was really fun, because I feel like I always have these ideas that I don't fully develop, and it sort of put me on a timeline that I really needed to develop like a truly creative idea that I could bring to fruition and actually show. I would definitely participate in another Creative Jam. It was a lot of fun, and I think that having one Creative Jam under my belt could definitely be to my advantage in competing in another one, because I didn't know what to expect when I went into it, and so I feel like my team's project was very different than other teams, but I think that now, like seeing what everybody brought to the table, I could bring something a lot better.